is, YouTube? What y'all got going on today, man? Got some news for y'all, man. Breaking. I ain't heard it nowhere. And it's crazy news, yo. You know I always come through with the exclusives. You know what I mean? I've been slacking lately, y'all, because I switched phones. So I don't really get all the stories that I was getting on my other phone. For some reason, they come in late. But, you know, we still going to hold it down. We're going to make it do what it do. But yeah, man, this coming out of the federal penitentiary, man. TUSCAN, Arizona. Wow shit, y'all. Have y'all heard that saying, there's nothing new under the sun? I'm sure everybody heard that. Well, that saying don't apply here. Because I actually think that this might be the first. Sure enough, I think this might be the first time this has actually happened. For real. Now, y'all know, people get things in a joint. Knives, phones, sometimes guns. It's rare, but people do get guns in jail. I've seen this before. I've heard it before. I ain't gonna say I've seen it, but I've heard it before. But this situation right here, this is exclusive. I ain't never in my life heard this before or seen it. What am I talking about? Listen to this.
Everyone is safe after an inmate tried to shoot a visitor, according to the Department of Justice. They say the inmate concealed the gun, planning to shoot the person who came to see them. The inmate was later detained and the gun was retrieved. No staff, visitors, or inmates were hurt.
A man brought a gun in the visiting room. Yeah, wild, right? And for some reason, what's even wilder is I couldn't find no clips. This is the only thing I can find on the whole internet. I've been searching for hours. But I got y'all in the article. The article get more in depth. And I think we're going to see some changes coming to these federal penitentiaries. The pre-release ones at least. Listen to this. Officials will begin assessing security protocols at federal prison camps across the U.S. after a terrifying incident this weekend when an inmate obtained a gun and tried to shoot a visitor in the head at a prison camp in Arizona. The director of the Bureau of Prisons said Tuesday, Director Colette Peters told the Associated Press the episode that happened Sunday at the Federal Correction Institution in Tucson, Arizona was a terrifying incident to have happened. The inmate pulled out the gun, pointed it at the visitor's head, and pulled the trigger, officials said, but the weapon malfunctioned and no one was injured. The Bureau of Prisons said the weapon had been concealed inside the prison. Officials said the inmate was restrained after the incident and the firearm was seized. It marked a stunning security lapse and a breach of protocol in the largest correctional system in the nation, raising questions about security practices in the place at the agency responsible for more than 150,000 federal inmates. Federal officials have launched an investigation into the incident. Authorities are still trying to gather details on precisely what happened and are working to determine how the inmate was able to obtain the gun in prison. Sunday's incident happened at a minimum security federal prison camp, most of which don't even have fences, and house inmates the Bureau of Prisons consider to be low security risks. Federal prison camps were originally designed with low security to make operations easier and to allow inmates tasked with performing work at the prison, like landscaping and maintenance, to avoid repeatedly checking in and out of a main prison facility. But the lax security opened the gateway for contraband such as drugs, cell phones, and weapons. The safety and security of all our institutions is our top priority, including our camps. And so, with a terrifying incident to have happened, I'm so glad it didn't have the negative outcome that it could have had, given the situation, Peters told the AP. We look forward to assessing security protocol at our camps and see if we have changes that we need to make, she said. The Bureau of Prisons, which has faced a myriad of crises in recent years, has also struggled to stem the flow on contraband. In 2020, investigators found a loaded gun that had been smuggled into the Metropolitan Correctional Center, the federal jail where Jeffrey Epstein killed himself. The weapon was found after a week-long lockdown that had led to a criminal probe into misconduct by correctional officers. An ongoing AP investigation has uncovered deep, previously unreported flaws within the agency, including significant abuse, neglect, and leadership missteps. Peters was brought on this summer after the agency's former director resigned in wake of AP's reporting on the agency. Peters has vowed to bring new transparency to an agency that has long been a haven for secrecy and cover-ups. So the guy actually tried to kill his visit. Yo, if this ain't the wildest thing did y'all hear that? So somehow he got this girl to come to see him and tried to murder her in the visiting room. Straight up. Now, luckily for her, and probably luckily for him, too, even though he probably ain't no telling where he at now. You see, they don't say his name. They ain't got no picture of him. He might not even be living no more. Man, I swear to gosh. He might not be living. But luckily for them, the gun jammed, malfunctioned. God is real for people that don't believe. The man put the gun to her head, man, and squeezed the trigger, and it didn't shoot. If that ain't a blessing, I don't know what it is, man. But this guy, this is my thing, right? What y'all think this was over? Because it had to have been his girlfriend. Or at least his ex-girlfriend. Ain't no telling how long he in there. Like I said, they don't give no information, no details on this guy. They don't say if he black, white, Puerto Rican, Asian. They don't say none of that. But I can almost guarantee he ain't black. Straight up. Now look, we do some wild shit, but we don't go this wild. This a little different. He was in pre-release, probably ready to go home within the next couple years. And whatever he was beefing with this girl about, he didn't even want to come home. He say, man, fuck home. This shit got to get handled now. That is wild to me. He just threw his life away. And he was ready to get his life back. Think about that, yo. Like, remember I told y'all, yo, when I got locked up and I noticed that I ain't belong here. I'm like, yo, a lot of these guys is dumb. I think he really fit the description. Sure enough. Like, what was he thinking? What could this been over? I'm thinking like, yo, she must have came there pregnant or something. He ain't know. Or he had some type of argument with her and he sweet talked her into coming and this was his plan the whole time. But either way you look at it, it's wild for this to happen. But I told y'all some changes is coming. You heard the article. So if y'all got family members in the federal penitentiary right now in the camps, the pre-releases, and you wondering why they ain't called home, it's because they probably on lockup. And they might be getting a fence or two surrounding whatever prison they at anytime soon. Because this is going to change a lot. Trust and believe that. This situation right here, even though, look, they're making it seem like it's small, but it's really major, is going to change the federal penitentiary's pre-release system for years to come. For years to come. And everybody can thank him. All the people that's wondering what's up with their family members and the guys that did a lot of time and they coming down on their beds and, you know, they get some type of comfortability because they going to pre-release and they wonder why now it's tight. It ain't like people told them it was. You can thank him. Yeah, it's all his fault. He done fucked it up for everybody. And these guys deserve that, yo, when they get down in the pre-release, man. A lot of these guys coming from the federal penitentiaries, yo, 30, 40 years, and, you know, because it's supposed to be like an introduction back into society. So they wanted to be lax. Some of them, you probably even get money. You get conjugal visits, like it's almost like home when you're dealing with the feds. But that was past tense. Because I guarantee you, in the next 3 years, it's going to be some changes made. That's why I tell all dudes, all guys, yo, no matter, I don't care what relationship you in, once you go to them prisons and you ready to do some time, you got to cut ties with the female, man. Straight up. I don't care how many years y'all been together. Or it's up to her. Look, I ain't telling you guys stay. You can do what you want to do. I mean, look out for me if you can. Yo, but you can't expect these women to be 100% loyal when you doing a prison bit. Especially, he just did a federal bit. He probably was in there for at least 3 years at the minimum. I mean, you can't really expect a woman to rock out like that, yo. And I would hate for him to have been in there for a minor charge. Like, he came in pre-release, and now this rate happened. Oh, my gosh. World's dumbest criminals, find him ASAP. But let me know how y'all feel about this in the comments, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, man. I'm out.